can. My name is Craig Slater. I'm the Managing Director of Sevadis, and I am the winner of the UK Business Leader of the Year Award 2024.
To provide an overview of your career journey that ultimately led you becoming the Managing Director of Sevadis, along with a brief description and history of the business.
Certainly can. So I started out in electric vehicle charging in the industry around about 8 years ago. I worked for a business that was about half a mile away from where my parents lived. So I kind of fell into it a little bit in that sense. I was always an ambitious salesperson. I was lured to London to join a competitor and kind of continue and expand on my career in EV charging. Living in London, I moved on to a couple of different businesses. One was a Dutch DC charging company. Another was a Swedish business where I was their kind of first on the ground UK sales manager. And then, Sevadis came about just over 2 years ago now. So it was the tail end of 2021, where I actually interviewed for a role as a sales manager. My kind of career to that point had been based on relatively successful sales foundation, if I can say in a humble way. So the role was kind of a natural fit. I was quite passionate, I think, in that interview from what I can remember about how I believed an EV charging company should operate. I had a few years under my belt, but I've been in the industry for 6 years. So I had some quite strong opinions on what I thought it should look like, what good looked like. After kind of putting my case across, I was actually offered the role of Managing Director at Sevadis. Sevadis at that point had been around for 5 years. And we're kind of on the precipice of a kind of new dawn, really. Just signed a partnership agreement with Autel, which is quite exciting. And our owner, our CEO, John Abernethy, was looking for someone to kind of lead that new chapter and kind of grow the company quite aggressively. That offer was put to me. It was one that I felt like I couldn't turn down. I was quite excited about the prospect of being able to influence change. I've now been with Sevadis for 2 years as managing director. It's a steep learning curve for somebody who was, as I say, a salesperson at that point. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's been a lot to take in the last 2 years, but we continue to go in the right direction.
What challenges have you faced as the Managing Director of Sevadis, and what advice would you give to someone who's maybe looking to enter this brand new kind of EV infrastructure industry?
Yeah, I mean, the challenges were kind of pretty obvious from the outset in that I had only ever known the sales side of a business, really. So I honestly didn't have a real clue or real grasp of what a good managing director looked like. I've been really fortunate to work for some fantastic leaders in sales and leaders in businesses over the last sort of the 6 years previous to this. So I was trying to take it as an approach of taking the good from the good leaders that I've been working with, and I'd sort of the good businesses that I've been a part of, and leaving some of the stuff that I felt wasn't good. It's been a very steep learning curve to get to grasp and get a hold of the other elements of our business. So your marketing, your operations, your finance, the technical side. These were all areas that I had to really upskill in terms of my knowledge base. So that was probably the biggest challenge in terms of broadening my own kind of mindset to, rather than just focus on the sales side, actually now have to care about the whole business. With regards to people looking to enter the EV infrastructure industry, I would say there's no better time. The industry continues to grow at a fantastic rate, and it has done unbelievably so over the last 8 years. It was hard work 8 years ago convincing people this was a thing. And now people it's less of a case of convincing them that it's a thing and more of a case of convincing them that we're the best people to hold their hands as they step into this. So it's a good time to get involved. There are some fantastic companies in the space, really good businesses, really well run, that can help support people with their career in this sector. My advice it sounds really basic when I say it like this, but my advice would be to learn as much as you possibly can. There is a lot going on in the industry, whether it's government legislations or just updates from car manufacturers and OEMs. There is a lot going on, and there are a lot of industry experts. There are a lot of people out there that know a lot of things. Absorb as much as you possibly can. I think that's been kind of my number one practice over the last, I would say, the entirety of the 8 years, is not walking into any room thinking that I know more than everybody, and being very aware that there are a lot of people in that room that know a heck of a lot more than I do. So if you stay humble and soak everything in as much as you possibly can, you can come away with that with a decent knowledge base. So my advice would be to listen and soak it up as much as you possibly can.
What would you attribute as the main reason for your business's success?
I'll give a little bit of a cheesy answer to this. I think I'm very realistic. I am very humble about winning awards like this. It's fantastic and I'm proud of it, but I do attribute a lot of it down to the team that we have here. So we, from day one of my time at Sevadis, we've tried to recruit on personality rather than, or kind of character, rather than necessarily qualifications or even experience. We look to dig a little bit deeper and look at things like the work ethic and the attitude of a candidate. And as a result, I would say I'm very proud of the team that we have here. The thread that everyone has in common, they're all from different walks of life, different parts of the country, different experience levels, different ages, that kind of thing. But the one thread that I think runs through the entire team from top to bottom is this kind of determination, this kind of grit to succeed and in their individual roles, whether that be providing the best possible customer service, delivering training modules which are kind of best in class, or even from a sales perspective, delivering that tailor-made solution rather than just this is what we sell, this take it or leave it. We look to work around listening to the customers. So the one thread that, as I say, it runs significantly, like clearly through everybody, is that caring about what they do and actually taking pride in it. One of the first things I say to the entirety of the team is that we have to be realistic here. None of us grew up as boys and girls dreaming of careers in EV charging. I'm still waiting for the phone for Man United to call me up and say that they're a couple of players short at the weekend and they need someone to step in. Don't think that's going to happen at any point soon. That's not to say that we can't make this a really enjoyable and rewarding place to work. And the fact that the team have that thread of like wanting to do well and wanting to look after customers, that's what that makes my life easier. And I do attribute the success that Sevadis are having largely down to that. And I think that's why we're on a good path, I would say.
But since you won the award, how has that affected your business both internally and externally, would you say?
It's been quite interesting, really, since the award got announced and that kind of thing. I've heard from many former colleagues across varying industries. So lots of people in the EV charging industry have reached out and got in touch, and it has formed part of conversations with them. I should point out that it's always raised by them. I don't walk into meetings announcing it or anything like that. But it's another kind of tick next to our name that we're doing something right. I think, and it's that kind of recognition there that we as a business we are kind of award winning. I would say so. It's been nice on both a kind of a personal level for the people, as I say, in and out of the industry to get in touch. I think what it has done is kind of shone a bit of a spotlight on what we're doing. So it's really nice that I've had people from different businesses that I've worked with in the past reach out via LinkedIn and that kind of thing. And so EV charging, that's something that's on our radar. It's something that we need to address at some point. So it's kind of like, I don't feel like we've seen the full scope of the effect that it will have. I think it will take a little bit longer. And I fully expect it to kind of keep dropping things in as the time goes on of, just kind of planting that seed that, EV charging, that's something that Sevadis, that Craig's involved in, and we can have that conversation with them. So, it's only had a positive impact, I would say.
As an award winner, would you recommend Business Awards UK to other businesses? And if so, why?
Absolutely, I would, yeah. As I say, it's really shone a spotlight on what we do. Not exclusively in the industry, but beyond that. So it started to open doors that otherwise might have remained closed. So absolutely, I would 100% recommend it. So far, so good. And as I say, I don't think it's I don't think we've kind of seen the full kind of fruition of it, as it were. So yeah, I would happily recommend it. Yeah.
I'm guessing you've got big plans for this year. So what is the next big step, would you say, for yourself and Sevadis?
Probably quite a basic answer, really, but for me, it is as simple as to keep doing what we're doing. We continue to grow aggressively, and our kind of key here at Sevadis as a business, and something that I try to drive from the top down, is delivering that best-in-class service. The industry, EV charging industry, is getting more and more crowded. It's got more and more attention, that kind of thing, which is only a good thing. But in order for us to stand out and become known as one of the go-tos, we simply have to be able to provide that best-in-class service. That's going to be more and more of a key factor in decision making. So for me, I personally want to see the business develop where it needs to be to get to where it needs to be, and also the individuals as well. I'm quite passionate about making sure our team get to where they need to be. I want to see those kind of awards, those trophies coming in for all the members of the team that deserve it, sort of thing. So yeah, it's just about seeing this through to where it needs to be and where it should be. So keep doing what we're doing. So far, so good.
Yeah, sounds like a very, well, because it sounds like if you're going to keep on doing what you're doing, you might even see more awards by the end of the year. So it is great to hear.
Hopefully.
No, but thank you so much for joining us today, Craig. And if people want to find yourself or they want to find Sevadis, where can they find you?
Absolutely. So I would say the best bet at the moment is obviously through LinkedIn. We have a good presence on there. I'm always contactable on there as well, to reach out as well. So yeah, we're quite active on the socials. I think our Instagram channel is also growing at a steady rate as well. So yeah, there's a multitude of ways that people can get in touch, and I absolutely encourage that. Yeah.
Brilliant. No, thank you so much for joining us today, Craig. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, you too. Thank you very much, Joe.
And